Okay, so I was with a kid the other day, and they asked me, if you cut a hot dog in half, are there two hot dogs or one hot dog cut in two? And I was like, that's actually a philosophical question. Why are you asking me this? And the kid was serious. Like, they genuinely wanted to understand the nature of hot dog identity, which made me realize kids think completely differently than adults. Like, fundamentally, their brains are not just smaller versions of ours. They're weird. They operate on different logic. And most of us have no idea how kids actually think. We're like, why is my child being irrational? Because they are irrational. That's literally their brain stage. So today we're breaking down how children's minds actually work, why they say crazy things, why they do stupid stuff, why they can't understand you even when you're being clear. It's not because they're being difficult, it's because their brains are literally under construction. Okay, so here's what's happening in a young child's brain. It's literally building itself. From birth to age 7, a child's brain is creating new neural connections at an insane rate, like 1 million connections per second. After that, it starts pruning unused connections. But during ages 0 to 7, it's chaos, pure construction. What this means: ages 0 to 2, the potato phase. Your baby is literally just a potato with emotions. They can't understand. Object permanence. Where did that toy go? Magic. Cause and effect. I kicked the toy. Coincidence? Maybe. Your feelings. You're crying? Cool. I'm hungry. They only understand food, sleep, discomfort, comfort. So if your baby is crying, it's one of those things. They're not being difficult. Their brain literally can't process other information. Ages 2 to 4, the illogical years. Now they can talk, but they make no sense. They'll ask, why is the sky blue? But why that color blue? But why does that blue exist? And they'll ask this same question for 45 minutes. Why? Because their brains are literally unable to categorize information. They can't go from specific detail to general category. Each answer is a new question because they're trying to build understanding from scratch. Their brain is like a computer with no database. It's collecting raw data and not knowing how to file it. Ages 4 to 7, the magical thinking years. Now they understand some logic, but also they believe in magic. They think if they step on a crack, they'll break their mom's back. Wishes can come true, dreams are real, monsters are under the bed, their thoughts can make things happen. This isn't stupidity. This is their brain literally unable to distinguish between real, imaginary, possible, impossible, because their prefrontal cortex hasn't developed yet. The prefrontal cortex is what makes you understand. Consequences, logic, reality versus fantasy, other people's perspectives. Kids don't have this. So to them, everything is possible, everything is connected, everything is magic. The brain development timeline. 0 to 2 years, building basic circuits, movement, sensation, emotion. 2 to 4 years, building language and memory. 4 to 7 years, building logic, slowly. 7 to 12 years, building complex reasoning. 12 to 18 years, building abstract thinking and consequences. 18 to 25 years, finally, maybe, you understand cause and effect. So when a 5-year-old asks if they can live inside the refrigerator to be cold, they're not being silly. They're genuinely asking a question their brain thinks is valid. Their brain sees no logical flaw. Kids say the weirdest things, and we assume they're being funny or making stuff up. Actually, their brains are legitimately confused about reality. Example 1, the literal brain. You say to a kid, close the door behind you. They close the door. Then they stand there. What are you doing? Go. I can't. The door is behind me. They're right. Technically, the door is behind them. They're interpreting language literally because their brain hasn't learned metaphor yet. Metaphors require understanding that words can mean something different than what they say. Kids' brains can only understand literal meanings. No subtext, no hidden meaning. Just words mean exactly what they say. Example 2. The confused identity. A kid asks, do you have a brother? You say, yes, I have a brother named Tom. Kid, is your mom Tom's mom? You, yes. Kid, so your sisters? You, no, I'm his sister, but he's my brother. Kid, confused. Their brain literally cannot understand that the same relationship can have different names depending on perspective. Because understanding that requires understanding other people's perspectives, which their brain hasn't built yet. Example 3. The backward logic. A kid asks, "When you were little, were you a girl?" You, "Yes." Kid, "And now you're a woman?" You, "Yes." Kid, "So you're changing? You're not always the same person?" They're not being philosophical. They're genuinely confused about identity over time. Their brain is literally asking, does she change? Is she a different person now? Because understanding continuous identity requires understanding time, which they don't. Example 4. The weird memory. A kid will remember that you wore a blue shirt 6 months ago, the exact conversation about a toy you mentioned once, a random detail from a story they heard. But they'll forget their jacket, their homework, that they have a friend named Sarah. Why? Because their memory system is underdeveloped. They remember random details that their brain finds interesting. They can't organize memories into categories. It's like their brain is a messy folder where they randomly save stuff. Every parent says, "Why won't my child just listen?" And the answer is, their brain literally can't. Here's why. Selective attention hasn't developed. Adults can choose what to focus on. You can ignore a loud TV to focus on a conversation. Kids cannot do this. Their brains are pulled toward novelty. There's a bright toy? Their brain goes there. There's a dog outside? Forget your instruction. They're not choosing to ignore you. Their brain is literally compelled to pay attention to novel things. Because their novelty detection system, the limbic system, is fully developed, but their control system, prefrontal cortex, is not. You tell a kid, "Go get your shoes." By the time they walk to their room, they've forgotten. They got distracted by a toy. Is that disobedience? No. Their working memory is shit. Working memory is like RAM on a computer. Kids have very little, so information just doesn't stick between instruction and action. They can't process complex instructions. You say, first, eat your vegetables. Then, you can have dessert, but only if you finish everything on your plate. Kid's brain. Vegetables, something, plate. Did she say dessert? They heard parts, but can't connect them into sequence. Okay, so now that you understand how kids' brains work, here's how to actually communicate. Use concrete language. Don't say, "Be respectful." Say, "Look at me when I'm talking." Use a nice voice. Say please and thank you. Concrete beats abstract every time. Use simple, short sentences. Don't say, "First we're going to eat lunch, then we'll go to the park. But first you need to put on sunscreen because the sun gives you sunburns if you're exposed too long." Say, "Lunch, then park. Put on sunscreen." One instruction at a time. That's all they can hold. Get down to their eye level. When you're tall and they're small, they get overwhelmed. Get down to their level. Make eye contact. Speak calmly. Their brain will actually process better. Give them time. You ask a question. Wait 3 seconds before they answer. Their brain is slow. It needs time to process. If you ask, then immediately talk again. Their brain never gets input. Use consequences they understand. Don't say, "If you don't eat your vegetables, you'll get weak and sick when you're older." Future consequences mean nothing to a kid brain. Say, "No vegetables, no dessert." Immediate consequence. Validate their feelings, even if logic is wrong. Kid, "I'm scared of monsters." Don't say, "Monsters aren't real." Stop being scared. Say, "I see you're scared. That's okay. Let me show you there's nothing under the bed." Their feeling is real. You're not agreeing monsters are real. You're validating that fear is what they experience. Repeat everything a million times. And don't get frustrated. Their memory system doesn't encode new information easily. So, the rule you taught yesterday? They genuinely don't remember. It's not defiance. It's neurology. The big one. Play with them. Kids learn through play, not lecture. If you want to teach something, make it a game. Want them to eat vegetables? Play a game. What color is this? Can you find a green food? Their brain learns through experience, not words. Accept that they will drive you insane. Because their brain works differently. And that's not something that changes quickly. It's development. It takes years. So accept that for the next several years, they will forget what you said, do the opposite of what you asked. Ask the same question 47 times, be illogical, make no sense. That's not them. That's their brain. It's under construction. Here's the thing about understanding how kids' brains work. It makes you patient because it's not personal. When a kid doesn't listen, it's not because they're defying you. Their brain literally can't do what you're asking yet. When a kid does something illogical, it's not because they're stupid. Their logic system isn't built yet. When a kid forgets what you said, it's not because they don't care. Their memory system can't encode that information. And when you understand that, everything changes. Because you stop being angry. You stop taking it personally. You start understanding that kid as a person with a brain that works differently. Not broken, different. For parents, if you understand this, you'll be more patient. Explain things better, concrete, not abstract. Stop blaming yourself when they don't get it. Actually reach your kids because you're speaking their language, not English. Brain language. For non-parents, if you understand this, you'll be less annoyed when a kid asks weird questions. Understand that kids aren't being difficult. Actually enjoy kids more. They're fascinating. Be better at explaining things to kids. The beautiful truth. So next time a kid asks you something weird, remember, their brain is literally trying to build understanding. Be gentle. Help them. Explain in concrete ways, because you're not just answering a question, you're helping build a brain. So there you have it. If this made you respect kids more, smash that like button. Subscribe to Brain Dump for more videos about how human brains work at every stage, and drop a comment, what's the weirdest thing a kid ever said to you that now makes sense? Or